Gleanings from the writing of Baha'u'llah. And now concerning thy question regarding the soul of man and its survival after death. Know thou of the truth that the soul, after its separation from the body, will continue to progress until it attaineth the presence of God, in a state and condition which neither the revolution of ages and centuries, nor the changes and the chances of this world can alter. It will endure as long as the kingdom of God, his sovereignty, his dominion and power will endure. It will manifest the signs of God, it will attribute and it will reveal his loving kindness and bounty.
Friends, I'm going to say a few words in Farsi. اینجا از من خواهش کردن که چند تا قصه، اگه ببخشید مگه فارسیم درست نیست، چند تا قصه تعریف کنم از فایا جون. بعد من برادرم که خیلی همیشه سخت میگیره گفت نرو بالا، هی بی خودی شوخی کن. گفتم چه عیبی داره؟ فایا جون میخواست بخنده. تو میخوام براتون چند تا قصه تعریف کنم اگه اجازه بدید. من فایا جون for many years چند سال با هم توی مال کار میکردیم. فایا جون دیلرز کار میکرد. This was این خیلی سال پیش یعنی هنوز فورم شاپسی نبود، فقط اون موقع فشن شو ما بود. فایا جون من یادمه توی دیلرز کار میکرد، منم توی بوتیک اونور کار میکردم و همیشه ما رو میدیدیم. هر سال فایا جون میومد، هر سال نه هر هفته میومد، وای من دیگه خسته شدم، من میخوام بازنشسته بشم، من دیگه آخرم. باشه فایا جون. But همون ماه she employee of the month, employee of the year, she was the highest paid commission person, she was the pace setter. هر جا میگفتیم فایا جون دیگه چی؟ گفت نه این دیگه آخرمه. بازم employee of the month, employee of the year. So واقعا she had that sense of business و واقعا دوست داشت اون کار و که independent باشه. You know, فایا جون was on her own all of her life و همیشه خرج و زندگیش و فایننسش با ماها هیچ وقت نمی گفت و همیشه she took care of it. یادمه من یه موقعی بود که مام بابای من رفته بودن از اقدس حیفا بودن، خواهرم هم ژاپن بود، برادرم هم نبود، اونم رفته بود. من بودم و چهارشنبه شبا میرفتم پیش فایا جون برای من شام درست میکرد. بچلر بودم، I had a home cooked meal. و یادم میرفتم پیش فایا جون برام شام درست میکرد، میشیدیم با هم حرف میزدیم و قصه تعریف میکرد و اینا. حالا یه کمی بریم عقب‌تر، ما بچه بودیم، کوچیک بودیم، شما اینو یادتونه. بابای من و عمو فریدون یه ماشین، این ماشیناشون عین هم بودن. coincidentally دو تا ماشین عین هم بودن. ما اون موقع میرفتیم پاور استیشن، بوفه پاور استیشن. ما رفتیم این ماشین بابا من و ماشین عمو، ما هم بچه کوچیک بودیم، همه سوار ماشینا شدیم. فایا جون دیگه کمی عقب‌تر اومد. شانسی یه ماشین سوم عین ماشین دو تا جلو بود. کار فهمیدی چی شد؟ ما بچه بودیم داریم نگاه میکنیم، ببینیم فایا جون تو راه نه، پای سوار ماشین شد، در بس یه دفعه نگاه میکنیم میبینه یه مش غیر آمریکایی اینجوری نشستن تو ماشین. گفت ای بابا زود اومد پرید پیش ما. هی خندیم، گفت فایا جون چی شد؟ گفت نمیدونم ماشین این هم بود. خیلی من برادرم خیلی فایا جون اذیت میکرد. اگر مثلا ظرفی میشست این دگمه چیه؟ دیسپوزال. اگه فایا جون دیسپوزال میزد پدرام گفت آی فایا جون she fell for it every time. هر دفعه میگفت وای بچه‌م دستش رفت. خیلی کار اینجوری میکرد. میشه من ساعت بگم؟ میشه بگم؟ میشه. My Faya Joon. English. I'm going to say it's part in English. I'm going to say a story about Faya Joon. And I was told not to say it by my sister, but I'm going to say it anyway. So, Faya Joon, it was funny. One day, her daughters took her out, and I'm not going to lie, she bought a gold Rolex. It was a beautiful watch. So as time went on, she'd always talk to me about, you know, her memorial and when she goes and, you know, when she passes on, you know, this is what a lot of people do. So I very seriously said, well, who gets the watch? And she said, این چه حرفیه؟ گفتم نه, it's important. Who gets the watch? So time went on, years go on, and Yasi Joon kept looking at the watch. Yeah, Yasi Joon kept looking at the watch. I was looking at the watch, but it was very sweet. So at the end, near a few years ago, I said, you know, Faya Joon, please put it in writing. Who's going to get the watch? The Rolex. And, you know, and then she goes, no, it was very sweet. She goes, I'm not going to put that in writing because I don't want any problems, you know, within the family. So you're my witnesses. She promised me the watch, huh? So I love everything. I love Yasi Joon everything. So Susan Joon, share Yasi Joon mo behind. این که اولش گفتم فایا جون همیشه گفته بوده که من امشب نمیدونم بیام این بالا چی بگم خیلی من خیلی با فایا جون نزدیک بودم مخصوصا چند سال که همه نبودن من همیشه I was here من بودم باهاش و همیشه خیلی یه قصه دیگه هم بگم کوچولو خیلی شما have met my wife. So it was a very sweet story. It was at the Pai Center where I met my wife. And it was Faya Joon, who, it's a very sweet story. She just grabs her, Effie's hand, brings her up to me and says, this is, this is my grandson. And she introduced us. And you know, that was 20 years ago, 2 children ago. But so I'm very close to my Faya Joon. Can I tell one more thing about celery? Yes. Faya Joon believed that celery juice is the cure. You're shaking your head. You're a nutritionist. Is it true? Celery, she lived to 99. She must know something. She believed celery juice solved everything. If I said, Faya Joon, I hurt my elbow, drink celery juice. Faya Joon, I don't know, I have heartburn. Didn't I tell you to drink celery juice? So obviously, celery juice is gross. Huh? Oh, it is. Do you drink celery juice every day? Yeah, this is great. Every single day, celery juice, apple juice, and carrot juice. For 20 years, but it paid off. 9 years later, it paid off. And so, and shop, everybody on your way home, celery juice. I don't know where do you buy celery juice from? So Susan, tell us a little about it.
My mom was always very passionate about education. And she married at a very young age, and she couldn't continue her education. But she always pushed us for higher education. And with her, and made sure that we had opportunities that she didn't have. And with her encouragement and support, all 3 of us got our degree. And all 3 of us got it while after we were married and we were a husband. Our husband supported us, so that's a good memory we have from her.
همیشه در همه حال پشتیبان من بود. وقتی که درباره‌اش فکر می‌کنم روزهای سختی که داشتم در راه دور no matter where I was, she was reaching to me immediately. Like I was in Iran, very sick in the hospital, and although there was some danger for her to come back to Europe, but she came to Europe and she took care of me. There was مادرم اومد ایران با وجود که براش خطرناک بود ولی این لیست رو کرد اومد در مریضی من از من مراقبت کرد. سالهایی بود که once the first years, maybe a couple of years after revolution, I went with my child to Italy to get a visa from America. Over there, they didn't issue me a visa, and then my child got sick. So I called my mom, crying, "Mom, please come here, I want to see you." And then again, she immediately came to me and hired a lawyer, and she got a visa for me, and she brought me and my child to America. So, وقتی که از مادرم باز یاد میکنم، همیشه مثبت بود، همیشه شادی رو دوست داشت. She loved music, she loved dancing, she loved flowers, and always she liked yellow, pink, and white. That was all her dresses. Most of her dresses were in yellow, pink, and white. And then سوهان I bet همه شما شاید تو فریزراتون هنوز سوهان هی به ما گفت ببینین تا من زنده هم بیاین سوهانم رو یادتون بدم. شرمند. even همیشه دوست داشت که مرتب باشه، لباس مرتب بپوشه. And she was always telling me that don't come with your pajama to the breakfast. اینجوری نیا سر میز صبحانه. اول لباسو عوض کن، موهاتو شونه کن، and perfume بزن، بیا سر صبحانه بشید. And even till last month, when I was going to see her with a bad dress or, you know, not matching colors, she was like, "In چیه پوشیدی? What is this?" Or, "Why don't you have any lipsticks on?" She loved lipsticks and nail polish. ناخوناش همیشه باید لاک میزد. حتی یه لحظه که کامی فیلمش من اینجا نبودم نشونم داد، یه ذره نشسته بود، صداش کردم، کامی صداش کرد به من شروع کرد باید شروع کرد. اول من دوباره میگوشم. و چیز آخری که ازش میدونم، همیشه تو هر ناراحتی، هر وقت ناراحت بودی میگفت پاشین یه آهنگ قفقازی بذارین برقصین، حالتون خوب میشه. She was telling us whenever we were sad or depressed, she was telling us, put the dance music, dance, and you will feel better after that. So, last thing is, she was always smiling. همیشه بوی خوب میدم. هر وقت میگوست she was smiling. So, and then, سه‌شنبه مامان فوت کرد. چهارشنبه صبح از وقتی بیدار شدم، این فوت از کلمات مکتوبه ذهن من تکرار شد که فکر کردم مادرم دوست داره من اینو بیان کنم. ای دوست، در روزه قلب جز گل عشق مکن. پیام گستریده نیست.
The hidden words that Yossi Joon keeps, for some reason, is played over and over in her head since Faya passed away. In the garden of thy heart, plant not but the rose of love.
So I was the oldest grandchild, and so I always felt like I had a special bond with Faya. I'm sure she loved all her grandkids, but I was the special one who gets the watch. But my youngest memory of Faya was she would sing this song to me in Farsi. There are a lot of beautiful people in the world, but nobody's like my moji. خوشگل تو دنیا زیاد پیدا میشه اما هیچکی مجری من نمیشه. So that's I mean, I was 3, 4, 5, I remember her always singing that to me. Faya's independence, her strength, the spirit she had, it didn't only set her life, but it was an example to me. As my family, brothers and cousins have said, she was alone and she raised her daughters most of her life by herself. And I always felt like that's a part of me as well. I've been alone and I feel like I'm independent, and whenever I feel down, I'm always like, Faya Joon did it, I could do it too. Last little thing I want to share is that Faya's faith, she was devoted to Baha'u'llah and the Baha'i faith. And last year I went to see Mom and Faya Joon at the facility. It was right after dinner, they're still sitting at the little dining tables. And I said, you know, it's feast tonight. Let's say a prayer together. So Faya gets up and she goes in Farsi. همه ساکت باشین، میخوایم مناجات بگیم. Everybody be quiet, we want to say prayers. And I said, Faya Joon, no, we're the only Baha'is here. It's just for us. نه، باید یاد بگیرن. No, they have to learn. So that was one of my fun memories of her.
Just, if you can't, we've got a little video presentation, so if you want to kind of bring it in, if you can't see on this side, if you can bring it in. Brian, can you hit the lights for us? Thank you. Yes, dim the lights, please. Our friends on that side, if everybody can see. Yeah.